My name is Chadwick Hemsey. I've traveled the world to discover new flavors in the most unusual places. Considering I'm a funny-looking bloke from Johnstone, Scotland, I've gotten pretty far in my career. But today, we're in Triana, Alabama, looking to discover the region's barbecue expertise. But we stumble upon a kitchen that has been stammering in the face of competent neighboring operations. It is the Tumbling Tea Kettle, situated in the eastern side of the township's residential developments.
Yeah, I'm Gary Schmiga, owner-operator of the kettle.
What kind of customer traffic do you hope to attract?
We strive to kind of take the comfortable style of dining and kind of go off-center, go creative with it, kind of run with it. Yeah.
Right. Well, first things first. I've noticed you didn't bloody well incorporate barbecue into the title or anything like that, which is strange, given the area and the population sample.
Well, yeah, I got sand with one of my old buddies from high school who used to make fun of me. I took care of him.
You took care of him? What in the bloody hell does that mean?
I killed him. I buried him out back by Bernie Sanders' place there, down the street on 76th and Cicero. He's dead.
That's a spicy claim. And what of the police?
No, he had gauged ears. Officer Shelton, he seen that. I mentioned he had gauged ears. He said, "Hey, you got another shovel?"
So if I'm perceiving you accurately, you kind of staked your livelihood as well as your employees on some kind of Sunday morning what-if epiphany. And you've rolled the dice on this.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when a well-spoken Scottish sock puppet kind of puts it to words like that. It's almost like I never got my GED.
With Gary's first impressions fizzling out, I continued to make my way through the restaurant to interview the staff and the main support chef, Gina McGallagher.
I'm Gina McGallagher, the sometimes head chef, but mostly sous chef, but also the maitre d' sometimes because, you know, the kids, Gen Z now, they call it all the time. No one seems to give a shit.
Beep. Gina, wow, I give you credit. That's quite a constitution of responsibilities, such a combination.
Yes, that's accurate. I generally run around the shop and tie up anything that needs finishing.
I see here you graduated the culinary school, Chattanooga State. I must ask, what keeps you here?
Well, yes. I have an aunt in Madison County, and she lives here, and no one really checks in on her, so it keeps me here.
With Gina's motivations vaguely clear to me, I cross my eyes, break wind, and explode. Turning our attention to the dining room, I see we have to appease the children of these families before things start to turn at a dime.
Gary, we have to acknowledge these children. Otherwise the parents will leave. We must appease them with a creamy, accessible, yet spicy macaroni and cheese, I suggest. Yeah. Friendship starts with cheese. I'll tell you what, here's what you got to do to make it Alabama style. You got to have some pepper jack in there, a little bit. You got to burn the flour, too, in the roux. You got to burn the flour.
We begin to ascertain Gary's wishes. I'm going to deploy sharp cheddar and a pepper jack combination. I'm going to cut off roughly 1/3 of each block of cheese and only use the third because the supply seems to multiply when it hits the food processor, as you can see. With the cheese mixture complete and set aside, we can begin making the roux, which for the first time in my career, I can't believe he's instructing me to burn the butter and the flour. But apparently this is a southern leap of faith. I'm adding 1/2 cup of flour to a stick of butter to make the roux. I'm barely convinced. It's browner than I'd like to see, but it seems to be coming together. What I do have a plan is the olive oil going into the water so the cavatappi does not stick to one another as they continue to cook for roughly 8 to 9 minutes al dente. Then, when the roux is complete, after roughly 1 minute of cooking down and stirring and whisking, I'm going to add not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 cups of heavy whipping cream and omitting any milk in the mixture to sacrifice thickness. whisk this mix together to give it a moment to permeate. Then we will apply generous pinch of salt, a healthy amount of black pepper, and then we're going to absolutely murder the entree with a bunch of ground mustard. It's the trick to give it that extra rigor. We're going to move on to whisk the seasoned mixture together, give it plenty of time for those flavors to bond together. After about 3 to 4 minutes of that, we're going to add the cheese mixture. At first, it's barely believable that it's going to become a creamy sauce, but eventually it begins to comply. Meanwhile, we unload the cavatappi, dry it, and add it back into the stock. And finally, the holy mixture of cheese and noodle begins. Voila! We've got a southern, burnt flour, pepper jack, macaroni and cheese. Add additional black pepper to taste. Now that the creamy mac and cheese is coming out of the kitchen, let's see if it's up to snuff for our guests.
The cheese is good. I love to draw triangles. My parents are fighting over there. The cheese is creamy.
After a few brief spats of classic North American ADD, we've ascertained that the kids are pacified and this kitchen crisis is under control. Now, Gary, the children are appeased. It's time to cater to the adults. What do you suggest?
Well, here's the thing. We got a secret in Alabama. It's the Alabama white barbecue sauce. Put it on the chickens. Oh, man, the chubby chickens. With the Alabama white sauce, let me tell you something right now. That'll put them to bed.
With Mr. Schmiga's more conventional approach at hand, we begin with 2 cups of mayonnaise. We eyeball the apple cider vinegar because he says a southern gentleman never uses a measuring cup. A small touch of lemon. A bit of Lee and Perrins. Pepper to taste. Touch of salt. Cayenne pepper, which is the southern secret. And extremely strong, finely minced horseradish. Stir the mixture. It will need to be whisked for a very long time. It starts out watery, you begin to doubt it, but then it starts to comply after about 2 to 3 minutes. It should look like this. Have the sauce sit in the cooler and set for roughly 30 to 40 minutes. And out comes the chicken. Nothing too unconventional, just paprika, garlic salt, and parsley. And then apply the white sauce. It is an amazing southern decadence. It is a miracle. Chicken is basically turned into a spicy lobster tail. It is amazing. With the dishes coming out of the dining room, it's time to check on our patrons to see their reaction.
Goodness gracious. The way the chicken reacts to the white sauce is absolutely amazing. It's an explosion of southern comfort inside my head. It is such a blessing. The spicy but delicate cream sauce on the chicken, it just hits the spot. It's just right. It's dialed.
Oh, man. This is really something to see this. My emotions. This is why Papa Schmiga fought in the war, so I could make a business like this and serve these patrons. This is just absolutely amazing, Chadwick. Mr. Hemsey, Chef Hemsey, you are something else.
With another kitchen concept operations remodel in the bag, hopefully Gary can focus and continue to serve his local community these excellent cuisines. Thanks for watching.